I'm Debbie Godfrey. Welcome to the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast. Today's pep talk is a continuation of the discussion on power struggles and how to get out of them. And today I wanted to talk about offering children choices. And most of us have learned that it's great to give children choices. It helps them feel powerful. It helps to make them feel better about themselves, gives them something else to do, redirects them. But one thing we may not know is how effective it is for redirecting power struggles. And the reason is because a child in the goal of power doesn't know how to feel powerful appropriately. And so when you offer them choices and they get to make one of the choices, then they feel powerful through more appropriate behavior rather than whatever the inappropriate behavior is that they're doing, that they're power struggling with you with. So when you offer your children choices, one thing is that you want to make sure that both choices are acceptable to you. You don't want to say something like, you can color on the wall or not, because obviously the or not isn't an acceptable choice. You want to say you can color on this paper or not at all. So make sure both choices work for you. The other thing about offering choices is sometimes we really want them to choose one choice and we really don't want them to choose the other choice. And then when they choose the other choice, we try to talk them out of it. Don't do that because that's not really fair. If you offer two choices, make sure that you're supporting your child at 100% whichever one they choose. Now, sometimes I offer two choices and I really do have an investment in them choosing one over the other. However, if I leave the choices out there and it's important for me to support them if they choose the one that I'm not so enthusiastic about, I still want to be supportive of them. But what I can do is I can say something like, okay, that's great. Let's try that choice for 3 days or 5 days or whatever an appropriate amount of time is. And if it doesn't work out, then let's try this other choice instead at that point in time. So that's a way to kind of alleviate any stress that you might have over them choosing the choice that you're not so sure that they'll follow through with. And the reason that it's important to do that is because you're empowering them with making their choice, and they actually are much more likely to follow through with the action because they've chosen it, even if you think that it's unlikely that they will. And then the last thing about offering choices is that you want to make sure that the choices are age appropriate. So with a little 2 or 3-year-old, you can say, do you want to wear your red jammies or your blue ones? And they get all excited and they say, I want to wear my red ones, and they get in their red jammies. But if you say to your 5 or 6-year-old, do you want to wear your red jammies or your blue ones? What do they say? Green, none. It's not empowering. The choices are too demeaning for a 5 or 6-year-old. So with that age child, you want to make sure to make the choices age appropriate. You can say to a 5 or 6-year-old, do you want to go get your jammies on hopping on one foot to your room or doing cartwheels? And something like that might excite them to where they can choose one of those to do. To the point where when your children are teenagers, when my kids were teenagers, I didn't even really offer them two choices. I really had led them into a discussion that caused them to figure out what their choices were. And that way that it's really empowering them to make their own decisions where they're coming up with the choices in their world and their life. So I hope these ideas are helpful in any power struggles you get in today. You can try this idea, and we'll continue on with the discussion of how to get out of power struggles tomorrow. Have a great day. Happy parenting. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Debbie Godfrey, owner and founder of positiveparenting.com. I hope you'll go and check out my website and follow me on Instagram and let me know about what you thought about today's episode. Did you learn something new? Were you able to do something different with your children? Did you have a success story? Those are my favorite to share. Let me know. Contact me. I'd love to hear from you. And also, what future topics would you be interested in hearing about on the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast? Thank you so much for being here and for all of your support. Take care and happy parenting.